Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday catch-up show. Here we are with you on the 17th of July 2020 after what has been a fantastic morning. Been flat out working, completing off the lump, which is the HK Models 148 scale B17G as we've done it in Flory Girl. And this is one of the hardest things you can ever do. If anybody's ever done metallizer paint, you'll know what a pain it is to photograph it, let alone film it and then try and show it as well. Obviously I've been in here, we've got lights on, lights off. I've tried it outside, but it's a bit sunny today, so it's a bit too bright, and then we've brought it back in here and going through the motions of it, trying to get very nice shots of it, but it is very difficult. It really doesn't do it justice. She has turned out absolutely fantastic. Very happy with her, the way she's gone. As I say, finished off doing all the last little bits. We installed all the guns, the flap system, the ball turret, which is a little bit of a ball ache, but it's in there now. Obviously the doors and everything else in there. A little bit more weathering, just go around on this one. Did a little bit of post shading with some smoke. And with some exhaust as well, just to give it sort of a bit of tonal versions and variations, mainly underneath admittedly, but right the way on top. I have to say, considering there was quite a little bit of negative feedback on this particular model out there when it first got sort of released and people started building it, I've absolutely loved it. I haven't had any of the issues that other people have, and we've got some of our members as well who've had issues with it and various things. I didn't actually have a problem. I think it's one of those ones where you get that sort of you know, the sections and the bulkheads running right the way through the middle of it. You need them all to line up. If they don't, you have issues with fit and everything else like that. I know a lot of people have mentioned they've had fit issues with the wings. Again, I think that's where you've put too much into there and it then feeds across and it doesn't go in, because there's not even any filler in the wings at all. It's just literally straightforward and then we're good to go with it. So all the issues other people have having, I haven't had. Admittedly, we did use a little bit of aftermarket on this one, so we went through with a little bit of photo etch, instrument panel, various things on there like that. But generally, she's pretty much out of the box overall from an external point of view. And again, internally, yeah, don't really see it. All that work we did in there, scratch building all the details inside the power levers and obviously all the details around the cockpit, can't see a single thing of them. All the maps and the detail we put inside the back here, the wireless operators area and all that, can't see it. But anyway, I know it's in there and it has been a really fun build. It's nice to work with metals occasionally. Again, I've used AKs. I do like them. It seems to be a bit like Marmite, that stuff. You either love it or hate it. I love it. Never have a problem with it. I just love the metal luster it gives and how easy it is to go down. Now, don't get me wrong. I also love MRPs. MRPs is beautiful doing metal work as well, but I find them very fragile. Okay, so you've only got to handle them a couple of times and oils from your hands and everything else wear through them very quickly. So you do need to wear the old kid gloves with them or cotton gloves, things like that, and you'll be absolutely fine. We polished this one as well, so you know, God help us. It's not technically a what you see here. This is Flory Girl. We did a custom decal on this one as well, so I've made it our bird. If I was ever to have a massive lottery win, I'd probably own one, because I do think, even though I am clearly English or British, I have to say that the B17 is a beautiful looking car. It's a plane. It's like a sports car. Okay, where the Lancaster, shall we say, is just a brute. It's a massive workhorse that does what it does. It's that, you know, heavy hitter and all the rest of it, whereas the B17 is very slinky and it looks gorgeous. It looks very much like a sports plane, even though it's not, clearly, and it's a big old lump. But anyway, it's a fantastic build. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Have to say, highly recommend this kit. Go off and see it. The final part of that will be up here on Monday. It's going to finish off the weathering sections, obviously final reveal and everything like that as we make our way through. So that one completes that build. On to pastures you next week. Same time, up with you today, you've got this little lump, which is now fully in one piece. She is literally all waiting for paint. I'm sort of hoping it might turn up today so we can actually get this thing painted next week before I go on holiday, and then we can really complete it. If I can get this completed next week, I'll be very happy. Obviously, from our point of view, she's in flight. She's got a hole in the bottom now and all the rest of it for the stand, so it's just going to be a case of actually painting, weathering and finishing, and it will all be done. So there's not actually too much to do to this one once we get the paint stage onto it. We are going to do a fantastic, or hopefully a fantastic, weathering job on this one, just to bring it all to life and go through the motions of it all on this one. But again, not an easy kit. Lots of people, I think, would, you know, cringe and run away from this particular kit. grab it by the balls. That's all I will say, and just work with what you've got. I always say with modelling, it's one of those things where it's not Lego. You do need a certain amount of skills with it, and you can hone your skills on a kit like this quite nicely. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. Been speaking about this a lot in the forum recently, and about a lot of people would never tackle this kit, but actually it's not too bad. Okay, basic modelling skills, test fitting. On this type of thing, you know it's going to be bad, so you just get it in the right area, sanding, filling, it is your friend, and work your way through it, and then you end up with something damn good at the end of the day. And I know we chopped the front off and we had to sort out the nose and the tail and everything in between, but it has been a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed working on these two big projects. You know, as you say, 48 scale, 72nd scale. Look at they're basically the same size, but it has been a lot of fun. Onwards, I'm going to be moving back down to 72nd 48 scale. I'm not doing anything big after this for quite a while, but they have been a lot of fun. You can catch up with, hold on, there we go. Up with the actual builds that went up this week. So what you had on Monday, we went along with part 10 of the B-17, which obviously we're talking about doing the guns, and then really it was all about the weathering. So as you can see down in here, we actually talked about putting the decal on, so it's obviously got the Flory model decal, and then we went through the thing about unmasking it, removing some of the temporary areas we did, like the nose, so we could get in there, sort the guns out, all things like that, and then unmasking the parts, clean up. Weathering wash, straightforward, basically dark dirt wash. Did use a little bit of black underneath afterwards just to make it a little bit more grimy, okay, but that went through really, really nicely and came through. And at the end of it, she is, as you can see in the photo, a nightmare to photograph. Okay, so that was a little bit in. She's had more weathering along from that one since then. So anyway, that is up with you right now. So that one's up on the site. And then today, obviously we've just been spoken about it, you've got the BC10. So you've got part 7 of that video build is up with you, which really talks about getting the wings installed, because obviously the wings weren't on to now, but it's also about cleaning and taking down. Well, you remember we put all this strengthening plates in and various things into this one? Well, obviously now we've got to blend them in, because obviously too strong as they'd be with a bit of plastic on. So we sanded those right down so they are just a hint of themselves on there. Then obviously a little bit more filler work, because we had a gap underneath the wings once we got the wings fitted on. And then we've just been around and blended and sanded and taken care of all the little lumps and bumps that are a little bit too pronounced, shall we say, so we wanted just to blend those down a little bit, and then cutting open. So we used a cutting wheel, to be honest, sliced straight through the bottom, cleaned it up, ready for the actual mounting of the stand to go on there, and then me trying to get a Mark 1 eyeball of how to get it together on there, literally just like that. So again, those two literally up with you this week. At the same time as well, I have done a couple of reviews, got lots of kits come down, which I brought back with me last week from the PM store. So down in here, we've obviously got the Cessna Skymaster, the O2, it's the 48 scale one. It is a beautiful little kit, and that review is with you right now up in the review section as always, and you can see this one just down in here, and you can get all the details from it, some of the pictures you see down in there from the stills. It is actually a really, really very nice kit, I have to say. It's one of those ones with ICM. They are what I would call a clean manufacturer. It's almost like CAD, because when you look at CAD, it's all grey and it's just there, and then you open up the kit and it literally looks the same. So that is up with you on the site. I've also got the Sycamore, which may be up with you later today. If not, I'll be up with you tomorrow. I've just got to finish off the editing and upload it, but obviously I'm on one computer at the moment, as a lot of you know. But anyway, I'll get that one. That will be up, and then the Porsche will be up with you on Monday, along with the last part of the actual B17, and then forward on with tools and various things next week as we make our way through. So an absolute ton of stuff going up there. At the moment, as I say, you might realise that obviously we're down to one computer, so I'm actually using my gaming rig at the moment for running all of this. So thank you to everybody who joined us last night for the actual live show. Obviously with Nathan and Andy as well joined me last night, and it seemed to work really, really well. I know obviously I had my little bit of a rant last week. I think we're past that now. We can just move on, pastures new. And as I say, I've had a mass clear out in here, and I'm ready for some new stuff when I get back off of holiday in a couple of weeks. So that'll be actually quite nice to get into some normal build, shall we say, back to 72nd scale stuff and stuff like that. But the chat room's working really well. It is back up there, but it is for chat, not for questions. I think everyone seems to got that one now. So just generally moving on for that. Speaking of things all chatting, we spoke about on Tuesday on the actual sort of Q&A day, I did a little video about scrapers. So you can go off and see that one now. That's actually up on the site on the Tuesday in the vlog section, which is, where are we, back to vlogs. which is literally just down in here, and we did a fantastic video all about doing scrapers and scraping and all stuff like that, as you might imagine. And literally, if you've never done scrape cleaning before and you've never even thought of it, and you're a traditional sanding stick person or something else like that, have a look, okay? Because it's one of these things, once you start scraping, I guarantee you will not go back, because it's clean, it's less mess, and it's quicker than sanding, which is amazing from a guy who's got a sanding stick manufacturing company and sells sanding sticks. Doing myself a disservice, clearly. Anyway, I have to say, love this tool as well. It's not going to break the bank. I think it's around about 14 quid, something else like that. And this is the what do they call it? Master Tools, Mr. Tools. It's Trumpeter's company. It is available in the PM store. We've got more coming in. I know we sold out immediately on that one, but we've got more of these coming back in. But anyway, full details about this one are up on there. But it is, once you start scraping, trust me, you won't go back. It's nice, it's clean, it's easy, as I was saying. It's a little bit nicer than sanders. You still need your sanders afterwards for doing a little bit of cleanup. It'd be amazing the finish you can get just with a scraper. And don't think of it as just like a deburring tool and stuff like that. You can actually do seams with it and quite detailed stuff, and carving out fillers and various stuff with it as well. So generally, something to have a look. Anyway, that was up on Tuesday. You can see the Tuesday show, and obviously along with your questions as well. We don't just talk about this scraper, we talk about obviously all the different scrapers out there, the Alex scrapers, I think it's U-Star ones as well, and a few other manufacturers, and obviously Display and the different ones, and where they all have their place in the hobby. So it's quite nice having a handful of tools, really, just to see how they'll go and make their way through. On Wednesday, obviously, we spoke with Matt from the PM side of things. Okay, so on the actual PM show, it was me and Matt. We spoke in depth about, as you can see down in here, the Wingnut Wings. We're going to be releasing, if you remember, before their demise, sadly, the front end of the Lancaster. And actually, and I said, full tip my hat to them, and I've always loved the Underdog, as you know, but to actually Hong Kong models, there you go, shameless plug, but obviously they are releasing it because they did a 30-second Lancaster and got slightly gazumped. I think a lot of people were holding out for the Wingnut Wings one, and then obviously Wingnut Wings, we spoke to them obviously at Telford last year and did a little report on them, and as I said, we thought it was a fantastic idea just to do the front end, because not everybody's got the room and the space to do giant 30-second scale bombers and things like that. They do take up a lot of room, and obviously the cost. I'm led to believe as well, little update, I've been told it's going to be around about $74.99 in the UK, that actually front end of the kit. We're probably going to get them on pre-order as well, so if anybody's desperate, you can get through the PM store as always, so you can catch up with them. But obviously we'll look at some of the photos, and generally we're asking all your questions throughout the entire show as well on that one. So if you want to keep up with everything in the modelling world and various bits and pieces, join me and Matt live, although last week wasn't live because obviously we didn't have computers, so I did it as an edit. But if you want to join in with us, we'd love to have you along as well on the actual Wednesday shows. Anyway, things that are going on in the forum, obviously got lots of stuff, and to be honest with you, next week I'm going to spend a little bit of time finishing off stuff, because as we know down here in the group builds, it's a little bit all over the place because we've got old group builds with new stuff. Okay, so technically we've got to get rid of the COVID-19 ones. They need to be sorted out, and I need to do a video for that particular one. And then obviously we've got the Latin one, which is finished as well. The medals have been ordered, as I said before. I'm hoping that they'll be in next week. I'm led to believe it'll be a late part of next week, so I'll hopefully get them out before I go on holiday. If not, I'll do it as soon as I come back, or probably during when I am on holiday as normal. So we'll get those out to you. We've had obviously a lot of people talking about the group build medals and stuff. I have come up with a few ideas for it. I don't want to bore everyone on today's show, so I'll put it into the forum and talk to you about what I think is the future for doing the medals, and a different way of doing it perhaps, and stuff like that, which makes them a little bit more easy to handle, cheaper, and don't take up as much space and things like that as well. But anyway, that's something I'm going to talk to you guys about in the forum more privately on that one. Anyway, so obviously the Latin build is finished. I will be moving everybody's work in progress builds. They'll be moved over to the various sections, and then obviously the group build will be moved and brought down. Okay, current one going on at the moment is obviously we've got the SIG. It's continuing until the 31st of August for the actual bulge to Berlin, basically the end of World War II in Europe. Okay, so you've got that one going on at the moment. As I say, quite nice. We've got 94 entries in that one. We've got 33 finished, so congratulations to everybody who is working on those ones. And then obviously the current one that's just started at the beginning of the month is the actual Action action movie group build. So we can sign down here, and again, very, very popular because we've got 97 entries already, which isn't bad for just over 2 weeks. Okay, no finishes quite yet. Okay, but lots of interesting stuff going down in there as well. So congratulations to everybody who's taking part in that one. Last up, buddy builds. A lot of people talking about buddy builds and asking can you do buddy builds and various things. As I said before, you only get one stab at it. No one's put anything in yet. I set this up for you this morning. This is for the Battle of Britain 80th buddy build section. You put your build in there, you put your final reveal at the end of your build. So it's all in one. So you start your build as you would do a normal sort of group build, or just one in the normal forum and everything. But instead of having a end section and a reveal section and a chat section like a full group build has, we just keep it in one. It's purely so it doesn't go on forever, because you've got to imagine, as we said last night, if you had 25 buddy builds on the go, that's 25 extra bits in the forum, and it means it's going to be a nightmare to scroll through it all. So that's why it's left like that. When you have finished it, if you wanted to, of course, you can put your photos for your finished work into the air gallery, or whatever bits you're doing for the Battle of Britain section on that particular one, if you want to carry on with that one as you make your way through, as always, on there. And that is about it for this week. Nice and short and sweet show. So again, busy week sorting everything out. Again, all computer issues and everything else like that. The new computer, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be here either Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. It's currently being built. It is an absolute monster, and if this thing doesn't cope, nothing will. Okay, so hopefully it'll speed up my editing times and everything like that. Because again, the trouble is when I'm doing this, I can't do anything else. So normally I've got videos rendering or they're being uploaded, but obviously if we're doing live streams, we can't upload at the same time, and obviously we can't render at the same time because of using it. So you need 2 computers, or 3 as I normally run, to do all of these things. But anyway, hopefully normal service will be resumed next week, and then obviously say when I get back off my holiday, and then obviously we'll be moving on with all the new builds and stuff like that, because I am away from the 27th for the end of the month. That's it. I'm only having a week, but I'm going to go from the Friday till the Monday. I'll be back with you on the Tuesday afterwards as we make our through with that one. Orders and stuff like that just carry on as normal. It's just that there won't be actually any videos or anything else like that up there that week as we make our way through on there. Okay, as always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.